Good evening. Take a drive around the city and pay close attention to the problems that you notice. Amongst them is likely things such as the infrastructure, potholes, roadways, bridges, etc. But what about the people? You'll likely find an individual on the corner of a roadway or hiding under a bridge from the cold winter weather. These individuals are typically asking for help due to being homeless, hungry, unemployed, or something else along those lines. But amongst these individuals are veterans of the U.S. military. According to the National Coalition for Homeless Veterans, 11% of the homeless population are veterans. And because they've risked their life and limbs for us, it's only right that we come to their aid. Arguably, veterans have many programs and benefits in place to help them or even prevent them from hitting such a low point in life. According to the VA website, some form of benefits have been around since the beginning of the colonies. When pilgrims were guaranteed they'd be cared for in the event of injury during battle with Indians. And then, in World War II, the GI Bill was enacted. This allowed for a home loan guarantee program, which veterans can take advantage of, offering market power when buying a home. Also, Public Law 293. This established 120 VA hospitals, which has blossomed into 1,600 healthcare centers and 144 medical centers. I work in pest control, and one of the many services we offer are termite inspections for home loans. Being required for any type of loan, we often see VA loans come across. So for this reason, I've met many veterans that do in fact take advantage of home loan programs through their VA benefits. One customer in particular comes to mind whenever I think about my veteran customers. His name's Gerald. We've served him for a while now on a regularly scheduled pest control service, and just recently he's had to have heart bypass surgery. And when I brought up his opportunity to take advantage of going through a VA hospital, he told me that he would have to wait 7 months before he could get in for surgery. His doctor recommended he not wait that time because of the high risk of a heart attack. Luckily, he had excellent health service insurance and was able to have the surgery quickly and has since recovered. This is a perfect example of how there's pitfalls to the system, as well as many unjust treatments that our veterans face, especially when returning home and transitioning into the civilian life. Nancy Burglas, an adjunct senior fellow for the CNAS and director of the Iraq-Afghanistan Deployment Impact Fund, while aided by Margaret Harrell, established the Well After Service model. Her model explained the requirements for a veteran to have a successful transition from the service to a civilian lifestyle. Burglas said that the 4 main components for this transition are health, material needs, social relationships, and a purpose. Each aspect of this service model can be seen in current programs that are made to assist veterans during this transition time. Philip Carter, a senior fellow and director of Military Veterans Society program, calls for action to be made. In particular, he identifies how wait times, such as those in Gerald's case, are a huge obstacle that many cannot overcome, as well as the difficulty navigating the bureaucracy of paperwork that they need to fill out. Carter says one way that the problem can be overcome, if not at least curbed a little bit, would be granting access to a private sector of doctors and healthcare facilities, which would shorten the wait times and provide the services that veterans need. Megan Cusack, a health services researcher, with the Birmingham VA Medical Center, as well as an affiliate with the Department of Veteran Affairs National Center, takes special interest in the individuals that face these problems with housing benefits, as well as with healthcare. CUSAC sees many similar problems amongst individuals when they're trying to access their home loan benefits. These benefits, or these problems, such as a lack of affordable and adequate housing, which qualify for the programs, as well as the individual's qualification/disqualification due to substance abuse, mental health issues, and so on. These are all factors that cause individuals, veterans, to abandon their hopes of buying a house and could even lead to them living on the streets. CUSAC also wrote a research article about veterans that returned to the streets after being in shelter programs. She found in her research that nearly 10% of veterans that returned to homelessness within a year of leaving the program. Typically, these individuals have PTSD, depression, or other health issues. Florence Roseman wrote an article titled National Ingratitude and identified additional problems with the home loan program. He shed some light on the fact that renting is not assisted. So when an individual doesn't want to buy a house, instead of receiving less monetary aid, they receive none. This just adds fuel to the fire, so to speak, because in today's society, many people prefer to rent instead of buy. Whether it be a lack of responsibility to a place, they prefer to travel, they move around from town to town, place to place, or even just the fact that it's typically a cheaper monthly payment. While many veterans struggle finding a place to live, even more struggle to find a place in their community. Luckily, there's groups such as the Mission Continues Fellowship Program that engage veterans with citizens of their community, as well as help provide a purpose to that veteran's life. The Mission Continues program helps veterans learn proper goal setting, social interaction, and during the course of a 6-week program participation, they go out for recruitment and civic engagement. During this time, they have the opportunity to give back to the community, provide service through any sort of means, and the completion rates and satisfaction rates are phenomenal. Veterans with PTSD and or depression or other disabilities or disorders actually show very high statistics within this program. Their use of service to reintegrate veterans to society is a great idea because it provides exactly what the veteran needs and helps improve the community at the same time. So how can we implement something similar locally to help our veterans? As we come into the holiday season, many people are focused on the gifts for Christmas or Thanksgiving meals, and for this reason, Dr. Ben Carson wrote an article titled Homelessness Knows No Season. This was published in USA Today during December of 2017. He wrote how during a single January night of that year, over 554,000 people experienced homelessness, and referenced how Kansas City in particular is working to bring an end to it all. That can partially be credited to Mayor Sly James, who holds veterans close to his heart. I had the chance to speak to Kevin McManus, a city councilman who works closely with the mayor, and he provided me with a little insight to the work that the mayor wishes to complete. Things such as fixing our infrastructure, bettering public transportation systems, and especially the airport project that's currently underway. The reasoning behind these improvements is to improve the overall appeal to the outside businesses towards our city. And while those are key components, ending homelessness is also an important factor. He explained that by ending homelessness or working towards it, it shows we care about our city as well as our citizens within, which kind of helps to appeal to the good nature of people. Councilman McManus also said the reason that we have a problem funding the changes that we need to make is that we have a landmass the size of San Francisco without the population. That speaks volumes. And one last thing that I got to ask Councilman McManus was, what do you think we can do to try and help end homelessness? He said, movement starts with action. Just start trying things. So with a combination of new ideas and the old ones, I believe we can implement Bergloss and Harrell's well after service model into one program that would help bring an end to veteran homelessness and improve upon our community in a similar fashion to the Mission Continues program. So by turning abandoned schools and buildings into living areas with a kitchen, healthcare wing, community room to help promote social interaction, we get veterans off the streets, as well as being able to offer career services such as job interview practice, resume skills, etc. All things that are currently offered to university students, such as myself at the University of Missouri. So, the best part about this idea is that it's all can be attainable through the help of government grants, donations through local companies, as well as amending the newly passed medical marijuana tax that's supposed to go towards veteran health care initiatives to include initiatives for health and wellness. So, a similar thing was done in Phoenix, Arizona, when 2 shut down schools were refurbished, one into a community center, recreation center and community computer lab, and the other into a location to further school curriculum, such as a science lab. And by implementing this sort of program, we can increase the curb appeal of the areas of the city, as well as remove attractive nuisances, because that's what a vacant building typically is. While most of the logistics can be handled by an outside group, such as the Governor's Committee to End Homelessness, who's currently working with their own goals and plan, which is available on their website. However, one of the best things about this program would be that the veterans can be the ones to do all the work. It gives them the purpose that they need. We can teach them career trade skills such as painting, drywall, plumbing, etc. and send them into the buildings to do the work while being supervised by someone that's qualified. So it's very important that we as a society do what we can in aiding the homeless veterans of our city because of all that they risk for us. We don't know their story, but we can offer them an opportunity to write the next chapter of their life and make it a better chapter than the current one they're in. Thank you for your time.